automatic stereotyped responses. Sounds kind of familiar. However, it's in response this time to visceral receptors, which are going to be located a lot in the interior of, well, located on the interior of the body. And therefore, the effector, what's carrying out the effect, is the smooth muscle or the cardiac muscle. Any of the parts that you see right there look familiar for the reflex arc? What do they look familiar to? My somatic or my skeletal muscle reflex. I still need a receptor. I still need an afferent neuron, sensory or motor, sensory. I still need an integrating center, this time definitely using the central nervous system. I still need an efferent neuron, sensory or motor, motor, and I still need an effector, something that's carrying out the effect. Because the ANS, the autonomic nervous system, is dealing with responses to those effectors, which means it's carrying out a response, we say it is the efferent pathway or the motor pathway. A good example of a visceral reflex. If we look back and see what it tells us about a receptor, meaning picking up on the information. This means I'm picking up information about something in my body. Alright? Nerve endings. Note what some of the information is that can get picked up. It can detect stretch. What? Stretch of what? What is my body stretch? I gotta have my blood vessels stretch. I gotta have my stomach stretch. I wish it didn't. I gotta have my stomach stretch. I gotta have my bladder stretch. Do you see what that means? Alright? So, tissue damage. Whoa, wait a minute. Time out. When I think of tissue damage, I think of, like, for example, the paper cut I got. What do you think of for tissue damage? Alicia? Okay, so you're like me. You're thinking about something for the skin. Perforated valve. That's a good one. Now, I'm thinking about some tissue damage interior. Surgery. I now have interior damage. Blood vessels. Bursting. Repairing. All the time. Internal. You see what that means now? Because I'm now focused internally, not out here. Okay? Can our viscera get damaged? Yes. What is a heart attack? Damage to the heart muscle. It dies. Does it come back? No. These are all examples of tissue damage that can occur on the interior. Now, are you thinking about like maybe peritoneal infection or something like that? It's usually due to something from a tissue within that area having something go wrong. And then it becomes a problem of cleaning up the mess. So in some way, tissue was probably damaged. But now infections themselves, like an infection around the lungs or an infection around the heart, doesn't mean that those actual tissues, they can get damaged from the infection, but that's not the original cause. So, blood chemicals. It's monitoring those types of chemicals. The pH. What system is that now focused with? Well, now you're thinking about the levels, like for example the hormones, but in the blood. Now circulatory, the heart, and blood vessels. Viscera. Body temperature, what is that associated with? Sweating or shivering? My circulatory system. And then all other types of internal stimuli. Okay? Is it stretch receptors in the bladder? It could be this. Now, let's think of that for just a second. Make sense? Okay, let's think about this for a second. First of all, let's go back to this right here. Negative feedback loop. What other type exists? There's two. I got a positive. I have negative feedback loop. I have positive feedback loop. Now, think back. This goes way back, all the way back to just general bioclasses. What is a feedback loop? Thinking about something, going back to what it was supposed to be. Okay. They usually give the example of a thermostat in a room. Thermostat on the wall. You set it for 68 degrees. And in the, whether we're talking heat or cooling, all right, it should, if it gets hot, for example, it should make air come on. If it goes below the 68, it should make heat come on. The goal, maintain for that area the 68 degrees. And that is working off of what we term a negative feedback loop. Because if it is negative, negative brings it back to normal. Positive does not. Negative brings it back to normal. For the most part, the way that we are going to maintain homeostasis is through negative feedback loops. Positive doesn't. Positive feeds the cycle and usually ends up in something damaging occurring in the body. But we'll get to that. So this right here that's being demonstrated, this is a baroreflex, potato potato. Okay? This means my receptor is a stretch receptor. A baroreceptor is a stretch receptor. They are in arteries found in the arteries that branch into the head from the aorta. Let's stop right there. The heart. Lovely organ. Structure, pretty cool. Has this great big, huge, elastic artery that leaves the heart. It does this great big huge arch and begins to descend. I've got some branching right up here off of my ascending aorta, and they will branch to the head and to the upper arm. Why would I need to detect stretch of these vessels as they branch off the aorta? Well, I know I'm studying blood pressure because it's telling me right there. Why? Okay, so the speed of which it is.
Are you asking like why, like in that particular area? I mean, the blood pressure is the high. It's going to be the highest at that point.
Okay, blood pressure is highest at this point. What does the term pressure tell us? If it's monitoring blood pressure, all right, what is that term telling me about the blood moving through these elastic arteries?
Okay.
We already said speed. The amount, if they stretch too much what?
So,